Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Alternative Jargon episode number 50. Wow, 50. 50 is a lot. They say insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So I think this week I might change the font on the thumbnail or something. We'll see. But either way, let's get it going with some ASMR. Didn't even try to do this 2 weeks in a row, but left my keys in my pocket. Dual action again, more ASMR. I don't know how that sounds on the mic. It probably just sounds bad, but I believe that was a fall breeze flowing through the room. Lick your finger, hold up. Indeed, it was a fall breeze. Ladies and gents, there's a cool breeze in the air. It's getting crisp out there. The pumpkin spice drinks are whispering your name. Fall is very close. According to Charlie XCX, Brat summer is over, so what does that make this fall? That's up for you to decide. There has not been a celebrity label put on the calendar yet for this season. We will await that. I don't know if anyone's dropping an album, but, it's coming. It's here. For me, it's here. As soon as August is over, September rolls over, fall is in session. If you're still in school, you're back in school. If you're not, then you're slaving away at your job, like me now. I graduated college. I'm done. It's time to move on, unfortunately. There are perks and there are downsides to being done with school. Some perks, I never have to do homework again. Some downsides is that basically everything else. But this is truly a very remarkable season. The NFL is returning tomorrow. It's returning tomorrow. The beginning of a new sports season is arguably more exciting than the end of a sports season. Don't get me wrong, nothing really beats Super Bowl Sunday, but the beginning of a season when you don't know who's going to be good or bad, everyone has a nothing record. It's beautiful. It's very poetic, and you can't write this stuff. You actually can. You can put it into writing, but yeah, it's a good time. It's like a new school year when everyone comes back from summer break, and you get to see who got tan, who stayed inside all summer, and who hit the gym. Who spent their summer with AJ and Big Justice, and who spent their summer with Baby Gronk and the Rizzler. The dichotomy there is just so expansive. You can take one look at a person and say, I can tell that this guy is definitely with the Rizzler. Maybe had too many chicken bakes. Maybe not enough booms in there. If I had to give my summer a rating out of booms, what is the top? The top is 5. They go by the star system. It's not out of 10. It's 5 stars, 5 booms. I'd have to give my summer a 3 out of 5 booms, honestly. It had its ups and downs, but I hope you had a 5 boom summer. I hope everyone had a 5 boom summer. So there's a lot to consider in that rating, but maybe a 3.5, maybe even a 4 out of 5 boom summer for me. But anyway, life has structure once again. The gauntlet from September to December is probably the most structured time of our lives, at least in Western culture, at least in the Anglo states of, the USA, Britain, Australia, all those ones. The Western world, where we celebrate Halloween, we celebrate Thanksgiving, we celebrate Christmas. It is the big 3 stretch. And although none of those holidays fall within the month of September, I still include it in that because you also have back to school in that, and that is like a holiday unto itself. Life has structure again for young people, but I think everyone is included in this because if you're not going back to school, then you're looking forward to Halloween. Maybe you decorate, maybe you don't. But you have to do something. You have to sit down and watch Michael Myers slaughter teenagers or something, right? At least in my opinion. Halloween time is one of my favorite times of the year. The beginning of September always kicks it off in a big way. As soon as that crisp breeze hits my face, as soon as I see one leaf fall off of a tree, it's time to go. I'm raring to go. The starter pistol has been fired, and all hatches have been battened down for the next 3 months of holidays. Now, I used to not be that into this time of year, but I do think graduating college has changed that in me quite a bit. I really used to enjoy the months of the year with the least amount of structure because you sort of got to figure out and decide for yourself what you wanted to do at that time. And I mentioned this on a previous episode. It's been a while back. I don't remember which one. But, the months of the year, like January through August, are basically yours to decide what you want to do with it. There are not many major holidays that hijack your life, like being forced, whether against your will or if you like to do it. There's no forcing into family events as much. There's no family Christmas parties. There's no, I have to go, get hammered on New Year's Eve. There's no, I have to go to this Halloween party in an uncomfortable costume. There's no, I have to wake up at 8 a.m. and watch the parade with, grandma. Whatever it is you do every year. This is, this stretch has the most structure. And I used to prefer the least amount of structure because I do like to do kind of whatever I want with my time. And these months do not really allow that all the time. There's a lot of stuff. However, I think since I graduated college, I am actively looking forward to this time because after college, when nothing has structure, it is a bit more of a challenge to dictate your own life. And I think that's one of the things that is not talked about as much as the financial aspect of post-grad life is, you do still have free time on your hands. Even if you work a 9 to 5, you have 8 hours left in your day of free time. And by the way, that extra 8 hours, that is not free time and is not work. That's not sleeping. All right, maybe like 3 or 4 of that is for sleep. The other is, commuting and taking a shower if you do that. Hopefully you do. So you do still have free time. And it's really tough to not just come home from work and let your couch consume you. It's really tough to just not come home from work, turn on YouTube, and disintegrate until you do it again the next day. Passion projects are important. Hobbies are important. Socialization is important. And those are all things that can be done on weeknights. Your life is not completely the weekend, even though it's easy to fall into that trap. It's very, very easy. So I am looking forward to this structure a little bit more than previous years because I feel like it's needed. It definitely is needed. And I think that this time of year, September through December, is really where, all the things you've worked for, you sort of get to expel them for these months. You get to get fat during Christmas and Thanksgiving. You get to, drink your life away on New Year's and at a Halloween party. And this is really the stretch where if you structured your life in the unstructured months, it shows. And if you didn't, it doesn't. That sounds really mean. And I don't even mean it in like a competitive way. I mean, like, let's say you made a bunch of new friends earlier this year. New friend group, exciting times, fresh faces. Well, then during this stretch that is filled with all the events is possibly when you could unlock so many new opportunities with those people. And God, I'm making this sound like a video game. I'm making it sound like you're leveling up. That's not what I mean. I mean, I guess you could kind of put it that way, but that's a very inhuman and sort of foul way to put it. But I hope you understand what I mean. It's that, like, this is the stretch of the year where everybody is, sort of warm and cozy together. Let's go to the pumpkin patch. Let's build a gingerbread man house, snowman together, all that type of stuff. There's so many events, so many holidays, and, that could be a significant other as well. Cuffing season, isn't that what the kids are calling it? I can't even say that. That was a term since I was in like 7th grade. I was probably saying that when I was this tall, wearing Nike Elite socks or whatever I was doing. Yeah, but this is the time of the year when your hard work pays off and you can once again descend into the madness of gaining weight and getting your blubber for the winter. That's just kind of how I view it. There's nothing wrong with it. Get that blubber. You might not need as much as before because, we hardly even get snow anymore. And I'm really sad about that. Last winter, I think the coldest day was like in the single digits Fahrenheit, but most days it was like a cool 30, I could go out in 30 and have a day. I could have a day in 30. 30's not terrible. But yeah. Another thing I wanted to touch on in this episode is that everyone's definition of relevance is so different in life. And what I mean by this is that back to school this year felt like nothing to me. I mean, I have a few friends left who are a year below me in college, and I got to talk to them about moving back in, and did you get the pencil case? Did you get the new Pearl Magic Eraser, whatever it's called? Did you get new backpack, new Jansport? Stuff like that. But I walk through the store and there's all the back to school stuff out, and it just, I walk past it now and it's very different. And, football starts up tomorrow. For millions of people, that means nothing. For me, it means, you get a nice 11-hour solid stretch in every weekend of sitting on your couch. And that is a double-edged sword because a lot of the time it's a social thing of like, okay, I want to watch this game. So when I see my friends this week or whatever, I can talk about it with them because I watched it. But also, I don't always want to sit on my couch every Sunday afternoon. Sometimes I do like to leave the house and do things. And this is really bad. If you're really into baseball, this is an epidemic for you because if you are a huge baseball fan, I'm a really big Phillies fan, but you do have to, at least for me, I have to find that balance between, okay, I do want to keep up with the team, so when they win the World Series, I'll feel that. If I didn't watch them all year, I would feel nothing if they won the whole thing. I don't want to be a complete fair weather fan, but also I don't want to spend my evening 6 days a week for 3 hours on the couch. I do sometimes like to be a productive person and do other hobbies and things. But yeah, everyone's on their own plane of existence with their interests. Something that is the center of the world to somebody else means nothing to other people. Maybe your favorite niche band just dropped a new project and it consumed your life for a month. You had nothing but that on replay for 30 whole days. And that was like a whole defining moment of your calendar year. Your Spotify Wrapped is going to be crazy because of that month. But for me, I've never heard of them, and I don't care about them. But for you, that was something, big. And yeah, there is really nothing that covers all the bases of relevancy for everyone in life. The only thing I can really think of would be like nuclear holocaust. That would definitely affect everybody, and everybody would sort of have to pay attention to that one. And just because I brought up this point on this week's episode about relevancy and lives and livelihoods, I'm going to inevitably get a comment that says, bro, you got to stay off the weed, man. What are you talking about? I'm not high right now, and I never have been on the show, and I never have been under the influence of anything while I write up the notes for every show every week. Look at my eyes. I don't mean to get in your personal bubble or anything, but I really, as funny as those comments are, it is kind of annoying that anytime you have an introspective thought or a thought that's deeper than the shallow end of the pool, everyone wants to say you're high or he's drunk or no. It's funny, but also It's not. You don't have to be under the influence of a substance to have a thought. And if you do, it's a little concerning. And I get it's just jokes, but yeah, it is a little bit annoying. Because what if my employer sees this? If my employer sees this, I might be done for anyway. It's just a joke. Don't worry. But yeah, no, I'm not high. So, in other news, in San Diego, they have confiscated a bunch of watermelons that were actually meth. Now, this is a really, really good story. I love to see stuff like this. Found this once again under the oddities tab on apnews.com. Methamphetamine disguised as shipment of watermelons seized at U.S.-Mexico border in San Diego. I'll throw a picture of this up here. This is really good handy craftsman work right here. If you squint, it really does look like a watermelon. And I have to admit, I'm really sad that this got seized because some cartel guy really put his all into this. I work in the produce department at my local grocery store. Every single day, I'm dealing with watermelons. I'm throwing those bins around. I'm breaking my back picking them up out of the bins. I am a big melon guy. I've seen a lot of melons in my day at the produce department, and frankly, this is a really good job. This is a tremendous job. Somebody spent so much time on this, and it was all for nothing. They seized them all. Now, they were in a truck or something with a bunch of other actual watermelons. Talk about some Among Us type stuff. Bringing back the Among Us this fall. So they did see some Sasibacas in the shipment. Methamphetamine valued at more than $5 million. Among real watermelons, officers found 1,220 packages wrapped in paper colored to look like watermelon skins. Geez, I thought maybe it was a few. They made 1,200 of these things. 1,200. Now, the total weight of the packages amounted to 4,587 pounds. Wow. So what is that? That's an average of like 4 pounds per melon, a little bit under 4 pounds per melon on average. That's amazing work. You can't find this type of quality work even probably in the United States anywhere anymore. Nobody wants to work. That's the boomer phrase. Nobody wants to work anymore. The cartel's doing it better than these kids these days. Okay, Nana, you bought your house for $500 in 1960. I don't really want to hear it. Yeah, what's that Model T in your garage? What'd you pay, $25 for that back in the day? But seriously, though, it is really good work, and they made 1,200 of them. Now, was that done by a cartel guy, or was it, 5-year-old children slave labor in a sweatshop right across the border in Tijuana, whatever? Whichever it may be, they did a really good job. Obviously, having it taped down the middle with giant packaging tape is not to the advantage of the smugglers at all. But still a good job. And where's the sunspot on this? If it has a good sunspot, then you know it's ripe meth, at least. I don't see a sunspot on there. If we could get another angle, I don't see... Is there any other angles in here? Okay. So this picture actually shows that they were not all taped. The tape might have been put on after they were seized. They're definitely still discolored, but they do... I mean, if it depends on how they feel, too. I mean, if you're going to handle them. But still, really good job on that. They look like they were all hand done. They could have had the complexion a little bit darker. But besides that, really good work by these guys. So, yeah. It is pretty crazy that there are 50 episodes of this podcast. we're almost at the 1 year mark. If I had done this every week since its inception, that is not the case. If you average it out, it's about once every 3 weeks, but still happy to do it. New comedy special will be out in a few days, I believe, depending on filming. It's all hashed up in the pre-production. It's just a matter of filming. Filming stuff is my least favorite part of anything because you look like an absolute doofus. Even if I just film it at home, I don't even want to be seen with a camera lining up shots in front of my own parents who know exactly what I'm doing. It's still embarrassing. And if there was a location I needed to do for a video project and it's in public where there are other people and I'm walking around with a camera, no. Unless I have a whole film crew with me, you either look like a creep or a loser. And there's no in between. I hate filming stuff. I always have a vision of exactly what I want stuff to look like, and it's just a matter of getting those shots. But oh my gosh, dude, it is just awful actually getting the footage. It's my least favorite part. I wish I could just use AI. ChatGPT, get this shot of me, throwing a Pepsi bottle off a ladder. ChatGPT, do a voiceover about how you know what I mean? I hate it. I hate the filming, but anyway, shorter episode this week. They're all short. But thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We will see you next week. Goodbye.
We will leave you with a... I can't do it. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Write that down. Write that down.